What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Vital Point. Today we are taking a detailed look at the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 1.0 tree stand, and we are going to answer that burning question: is it worth the money? Stay tuned and find out. I was just notified that I got a package that I've been waiting on for a while, and I'm really excited about this one. I asked my neighbor to put it in my backyard for me because I wasn't home and I did not want this one to walk. Let's see what we got. Woo! Oh my gosh. Lone Wolf Custom, baby. Yeah! This thing is going to be awesome. This is the 1.0 stand, and I'll tell you what, it feels light. Oh, I'm so psyched. I can't wait to open it. Let me just interject and say that I really didn't have much information to go on when I first made this purchase. There's a lot of videos out there showing people who have these stands, but not a real detailed, in-depth review. So this is one season of full use, and I hope that it'll help some of you out to make an informed buying decision. Guys, I was gonna wait and do this video tomorrow and do a major unveiling tomorrow, but I can't wait. Who can wait? This box is sitting here looking at me. I was in the middle of tying a D-loop on my bow, and I got this box on my head. We gotta open this thing, see what we got. Oh my gosh, this is too exciting. I've been waiting about a month for this to arrive. They said it was gonna take 5 weeks, and so far, they came in a little ahead of schedule, which was great. Let's see. This is too exciting, man. Here it comes. Oh yes. Look at that. Feels pretty lightweight. Nice. This thing is pretty sweet. Boy, I'll tell you, the platform is kind of sharp. I mean, it'll really hold your boots well, but boy, it's a little sharper than I expected. I think they could have ground down the edges a little bit. Had a little finer tuning on that. Actually, I waited a year for this. I thought maybe they'd work out some of the kinks from the first year's model. But the cool thing about this stand, when you fold it, if you tip this up first and then put it in here, it acts as a shelf, so you can carry your backpack, whatever else you need, and hike on out with it. Pretty cool function right there. Let's see what else we got. A nice seat, Lone Wolf seat. Feels pretty cushy, pretty lightweight, not bad. And let's see if we have some backpacks or some straps or something. Oh, we got a sticker, Lone Wolf Custom sticker. The tolerances are so tight on this that it's got to be like just perfect going in and coming out. So it comes with one button, the upper button, and attached already. And it comes with a second button if you want to put that on. I probably will do that. It's a good, safe thing to do. Only comes with one strap, it looks like. I feel like that's a mistake. I think it should have come with a second strap for that second button, because right now, I have no second strap. I'd have to buy a strap or something. So that seems like something that could have come with. But I'm looking for the backpack strap still to see what type of straps it comes with. Here we go. They feel like pretty nice straps. They're pretty cushy, kind of heavy duty. So I'll just have to figure out the best way to hook these on and feel how it is on the back. But the great thing about this is it's pretty easy to hold with one hand while the other hand is wrapping the strap around the tree and hooking this on. That's one thing about the XOP stand I have currently, is that it's a little heavy. When you're trying to do that with one hand, it's just, I end up working up a little sweat trying to get it on, and it's definitely doable, but it's a little more labor intensive. This will just be much easier to hold with one hand while I put it around the tree. Feels pretty light. I am excited to get this all hooked up and throw it on the scale. Something I'll tell you I really like already is that this post is nice and tight into the base. It won't go unless you really give it some pressure and push on it. Whereas the XOP falls down under its own weight. No matter how much you try to tighten that thing, it just doesn't keep itself up, which could be a pain if you're, sometimes it'll fall down and hit something else, make some noise. It's nice to be able to keep it exactly where you want until you're ready, then you can crank it down. Now, I don't know of anyone who hunts barefoot, but you would not want to step on this thing barefoot. It will chew your feet up. If you have an itch on your foot, it would surely take care of it. Now, another thing I kind of like when you close it, if you have the seat straight up, it doesn't clang at all. The seat is nice and solid. Everything's pretty solid, tight. There's no clanging and banging. The only thing, like I said, you have to watch is when you're putting this seat part in and maybe taking it out. You just have to make sure that that's aligned perfectly so that it goes right in the slot. Like so. See, it made a little bit of noise there. I don't know if there's any way to get away from that. But for the most part, when you're done and putting things away, it doesn't matter as much. Let's see what happens like when I first get to my tree and I want to take it out. Let's see how it comes out. It's not bad at all, not bad at all. You can get that out very quietly. So it's spectacular, man. I am so psyched about this. Wow, a lightweight stand, finally, finally. All right. No, we're gonna definitely hook this up tomorrow and throw it on a tree and see how it is to sit in this. Seat comes with this little piece of Velcro for attaching it. There's 2 spots to attach in the front and 1 in the back. What I really like about this seat cushion is that it's pretty compact. It's cushy but compact also. So when you could fold it up and to get it out of the way, and it's not going to hit the tree and kind of still be in your way. The seat came with 2 pieces of Velcro, 1 longer one, 1 shorter one. And I kind of feel like it might be missing 1 piece of Velcro. I don't know. The long one looks like it goes on the back, the short one on the front. But maybe the long one's long enough that I could cut a piece off it and just make that work. But I kind of feel like it should have 1 more piece of Velcro. This is my first day hunting this season. I was about to climb down and I figured I'll do a quick mention that I jumped in the stand today. It's my first time getting in the Lone Wolf custom stand. And this thing is rock solid. I'm really happy with it. It is a nice piece of machinery. There are no creaks and cracks, no sounds. It really anchors well to the tree. I was shocked at how well it grabbed onto the tree. Much better than the XOP I had. It's comfortable to sit in. The seat feels good. Really, not much bad to say about this stand. It is pretty cool. And I found that the 1.0 size is very comfortable. It's got plenty of room to maneuver around in, no issues at all. I put a little gear bag on this side just to hold a couple things. A little bow holder here. Unfortunately, just a little ways into the season, the seat really flattened out. It went from being a comfortable seat to really not too comfortable at all. It just wouldn't spring back. And in addition, this metal edge, no matter what I did, kept getting exposed. So with the flat seat, after a while, this kind of cuts off circulation to your legs. So I need to put some more foam or something at the top. I wish these seats were a little bit oversized to cover over the edges of this metal plate, because the way it is right now is not ideal. Lone Wolf sells their own version of stealth strips, which I think are a little on the pricey side. So I just went ahead and got some cheap stealth strips, and they work just fine for me. 9.6 pounds. 9.6 pounds for the Lone Wolf custom stand. The only thing I have in this little baggie here is just 1 buckle to go around the top strap, but otherwise this is everything you need other than your backpack and all the other gear. This is just the stand as I carry it. Now let's compare it with an XOP Air Raid just for comparison's sake to see the difference. That's 16.7 pounds. That's a huge difference. Boy, those extra pounds really add up, carrying them a long way in the woods. Now, aside from the obvious benefits of carrying in a lighter stand, which we all know is awesome, the other benefit of this tree stand is I can hold this thing with 1 finger when setting it up. I could not do that with the XOP. I really had to hold on to it with my arm. This one, no problem. I could hold it 1 finger, put the strap around. I could maneuver it very easily however I need to, and you're done. It's lightweight and easy to set up. One of the big improvements on this stand too are the teeth. The teeth, the way they're angled, they really bite on well. I've had trouble with other tree stands that after you cinch it down, this always separates a little bit from the tree, no matter how tight you make it on the bottom. Not so with this one. This one grabs so tight that it really pulls down hard and sucks the top in tight against the tree. I used this stand all season long, and I mentioned when I first got it though, how sharp these edges felt. And I gotta tell you, I think that is a manufacturing defect. I feel like they should have just touched down those edges just ever so slightly, would have made all the difference in the world. the manufacturing needed a little more refinement. This stand was so sharp, in fact, that the shoulder support straps were actually cutting through right here. You could see where they started to go after just three uses, and it was cutting right through the material. And this would not have lasted more than 6 or 7 times. It was going through. I actually had to take these off and file this whole thing down to round it off. And since then, I've had really no issue with it. But I feel like that should have been corrected. I did reach out to Lone Wolf Custom and I asked them if this is a problem they've been having with other people. They said it wasn't, and their proposed remedy was that I could purchase additional shoulder straps, which didn't really satisfy me, I gotta tell you. I felt like they should have just sent me some new shoulder straps. After spending so much money on a tree stand, things like that shouldn't go wrong. I mean, I shouldn't have to worry about filing the stand down so that it doesn't cut through my shoulder straps. And you better be super careful when you're pulling your bow up that you don't touch your string under tension against the edge of this stand. I'm always afraid I'm gonna cut my string. This stand has this hole in it for a bow holder. I don't understand how that's supposed to work. Like I said, even with tape on this, I don't want to get my bowstring anywhere near this stand. It's just not worth the risk. And from what I can tell, it doesn't hold the bow anyway. I've got plenty of room on the tree stand, plenty of room to maneuver around, stand up, no problem. I feel very comfortable on this stand. It's actually what I would say is the perfect size platform. Believe me, I agonized for a long time over whether I should get the 0.5 stand or the 1.0. I'm really glad I went with the 1.0. I'll tell you why. With the 0.5 stand, in order just to try it out, one, I tried it at the Sportsman's Show. I saw it there, so I was able to stand on it just on the floor. And then also, I just took the dimensions and I laid it out with a tape measure next to the tree. And I was finding that when you're that tight up against the tree, two things. One, if you want to draw back, sometimes the tree gets in your way for your draw, and you have to kind of maneuver around the tree to be able to, pull your bow back. The other thing is, if your tree is crooked at all and at all leaning forward, it is extremely comfortable to have no foot platform to really stretch out on and to feel like the tree is pushing you off a little bit. With this stand, it's just long enough that even if the tree is leaning slightly, I'm okay. The platform on this stand is 27 inches by 19.5. And on the 0.5 stand, just for reference, it is a size of 23 inches by 16.5. So you're losing 4 inches this way and about 3 inches on the sides. With my boots on, I feel like they just fit perfectly between the cables. I think losing that additional 3 inches would sort of get in the way. My feet would start hitting these cables too much. Now, although I was frustrated that this stand only came with one tree strap, and I still think that's inappropriate, I still think it should have two. Lately, I find that I am just using the one strap. Like I said, this tree stand bites so well into the tree here. I haven't had much issue, thank God, with it kicking out. You still have to be careful. It could still move. So you have to be very careful when stepping on in particular. I put my weight on the center of the stand. Don't lean from an angle, because that's where you have issues. The only problem I've had with these teeth is on some trees with a really smooth bark. Occasionally it gets so tight that it actually pops and makes a noise. There are two trees that I go back to quite often throughout the season, and they have a real smooth bark. And on those trees, for some reason, once in a while, and especially on like a cold morning, if you give it a little jump, you'll hear like a pop that sounds like a firecracker going off through the woods. I don't know that there's anything you could do about that. I'm guessing it would happen on other stands as well. I think it's just that this pulls it in so tight, but I'd rather have it tight against the tree, feel secure, than not. So take that for what it's worth. I've had to tighten these bolts several times. Over time, the seat kind of falls down. What I really hate is when this is up and you want to just like hold it there for a little bit and it drops on you while you're trying to hook up the tree stand. That kind of gets annoying. So you do have to go, and this is probably true with any tree stand, and tighten up the bolts occasionally. I did put Loctite on the bolts just to help them hold their place. If you guys are enjoying this video, please do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. It'll help me out and help me grow my channel, and more great videos will follow. Now, one of my main considerations when trying to pick which stand to buy was that I already have the Lone Wolf custom sticks. And these sticks are made to nest together with the stand. So my thought was, once I have the sticks and I made that purchase, might as well get the stand to make a nice compact carrying system. However, as with all things that are too good to be true, this was too good to be true. Now, the way it works is these rubber grommets here fit into the little holes that are already on the stand. So they're supposed to hold them nice and tightly, but unfortunately they still move quite a bit. And the grommets are just not deep enough to go in and really grab, especially if you have the straps wrapped around like I do. That holds them out a little bit further. And I just wish these grommets were another 1/4 inch deeper. It would have made all the difference in the world, I think. On the Lone Wolf Custom website, they show you how to use the buckle strap to wrap around and hold these sticks in place. And I tried that many times, but it still just didn't hold it tight enough, and the thing would rattle when walking. You hear that little noise that'll kill you walk in. So that wasn't working for me. So I had to come up with a system to hold these on. I tried using a ton of bungee cords, wrapping them around. Wasn't ideal, it was a little messy. So I'll show you, this is what I'm using currently, and I've used for like most of the season. It's still not ideal, but it held them very securely. I got these little twist tie things from Home Depot. I have one on the back side of the stand, one on the front, and I just leave it in here all the time. Even when I'm stepping on the stand, I just kind of twist them to the side and leave them to the side. They never really get in the way. And then when I need them, I just spread them out, put my sticks in there. It's a little tricky to get the sticks lined up sometimes, as you see. There we go. Then once it's in, I just twist them around, and that holds it really secure. I've never had an issue with bouncing or anything. Holds it tight. It's kind of a pain in the rear end to some extent, but it works. I did have to replace these at one point in the middle of the season because they get worn out. If you keep twisting them in the same spot, they just wear out over time. But as you see, I just leave them on the stand. The front ones I just bend over the front. The side ones I just bend over the side, and they never really get in the way. I'll just mention too that one of the grommets you can see actually broke off. Actually, 2 of them broke off. So I need to get new grommets. So you figure they're only good for a season of use, and then you're gonna have to get more. Something to consider. And I'll line up this one too so to see how it goes. So this one doesn't even fit in there because there's no grommet on that side. But still yet, these straps here hold it very securely. And then it's not going anywhere, and that's my setup. You could set these up so that these are up on the top end too and sticking out the top versus sticking lower at the bottom. This is obviously a 3-step stick. To do that, you just have to reverse them. This one goes up this way, and you'd move it up to this position. This is actually the way I started out the season, but you can see it's just too high, and these top sticks were just catching on every branch I would walk along. If you try to duck under a shrub or something, forget about it, you'd get hung up. So for the whole second half of the season, I've been wearing them like this, sticking out the bottoms, and I was concerned at first that it would hit the back of my legs, but it really has not been an issue. The only time you have to be careful is if you're going down a really steep incline, sometimes these things could catch the backs of your boots. And I'm careful to make sure that the little brackets here point outwards, and then it's not an issue. Again, none of this would really be an issue if you went with a 2-step stick, but I really do like the 3-step stick. I just want to get up there quick. Also note that the seat on this stand makes a great backpack holder if you want to pack some meat out, pack out your animal, or even just carrying in, like I carry in some camera equipment and such. It's really comfortable to put it on here, and it holds the weight well. So knowing that the stand and the sticks don't fit together quite as ideally as they should, is it worth getting both items from the same company? Is it worth buying both stand and sticks from Lone Wolf Custom Gear? I would say yes, because the sticks are still going to fit better with this stand than some other brand of sticks would. It's not ideal, but it's not too bad, and you can make it work. Tree stand comes with these clips to hold your climbing rope, which sounded like a good idea at first, but the reality is that I only use a 25-foot rope, and I can't even fit half of it on here without it overflowing. So that's it. So this is kind of a total waste for me. It hardly holds any rope at all, so I end up never using this thing. Unfortunately, that one just wasn't thought out well enough. These shoulder pads are pretty comfortable and great for a long hike, especially considering the tree stand is so lightweight. They're not as comfortable as the harness support system I have on my XOP air raid stand, but they get the job done. Now you can purchase an additional hip support belt to take some of the load if you wanted for a real long hike. Honestly, I don't think it's worthwhile because, like I said, these do just fine. So I paid about 520 bucks for this stand in total. Is it worth it? That is the money question right here. And the answer is that it really depends on what type of hunting you're doing. If you are a run and gun type of guy, absolutely, this is the stand. This is it. There are some shortcomings. You know, with anything you buy, there's going to be a couple things that doesn't quite sit right with you. But overall, would I get it again? Yes, I would. The lightweight, you just cannot beat this weight. It's so handy. It's very simple to carry, to put up. Now, if you're a private land guy and you're gonna leave your stands up all season, forget about it. Go get some cheap stand, hang it up, and lock it on the tree, and don't worry about it. This thing, I am carrying it in and out every time, and I feel like it has paid for itself many times over, and I would do it again. Most hang-on tree stands these days are probably in the neighborhood of $200 anyway. So yeah, this is double that price, a little more than double. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, especially when you're comparing it to how much a bow cost, you know, how much that Sitka jacket you're wearing cost. Some things are just worth the expense. At some point, I'll probably do a video on just the sticks as well, just to give you a detailed review on them. But in the interim, make sure you're going through your gear list and checking off those things you need so that come fall time, you guys are ready to hit the woods. And when you're sitting in your new fancy tree stand in the woods, just remember to always aim for that vital point. I will catch you guys next time. This is your host, Andrew Penzie, signing out. See you later, guys.